So I'm just sitting here, right? And I looked up at the moon, and it was behind this house about 5 minutes ago. So I Googled it. I said, how fast is the moon moving? Because if it was just behind the house 5 minutes ago, see, we're gonna estimate it. Okay, it's not in the trees right now. And I said, if it's moving that quick, then it has to be going at a great deal of speed. So I Googled it. How fast is the moon traveling? And then it came up on Google and said 2,088,000 miles an hour. 2,288 miles an hour is how fast the moon is traveling. So we're gonna sit here and see how long does it take to orbit in my radius to behind the trees, I suppose, right? Has it moved yet? No. So we gotta think of something to stay busy with. Peter Piper picked peppers from Run, Humpty Dumpty fell down, and his all son. Jack never was no. No, that's that song. Okay. Let me see. I was singing Prince earlier. Man, a girl named Nikki. No, y'all want to sing that one no more, either. Make you horny, huh? And it's talking about someone that say, that's probably why they killed Prince. White people like, why y'all keep saying we killed Prince? Why it gotta be y'all when we say them? Mm-hmm. See, you better stop talking. I told y'all, God brought me down here. Look at this motherfucking rabbit running across. Look at this motherfucker here. Look at this motherfucker. Oops, I forgot. Damn, I moved the camera, so we don't really know. But yeah, I guess we can, cause it still ain't in. I ain't moved. This motherfucking rabbit and shit. So okay, what was I saying here? I was thinking of a song, right? And then I was saying about Prince, a little joke. I was like, yeah, that's why. Every time I say something, I'm like, that's why they killed Prince. And then they answered and shit like, why y'all keep saying we killed Prince? And then I said, why y'all keep answering and saying, why y'all keep saying we killed Prince? Who said you was y'all? So that goes to show you motherfuckers already guilty. Y'all keep answering to the shit. That's right, these motherfuckers talking, come on, Jim. Come on, they got us. Jim ain't saying shit, no, they got you. Come on, Jim, they got us. Nah, nigga, they got you. They ain't got the rest of us. They got you. Y'all too. Y'all come on from up behind those bushes. They got us. Y'all can confess now. They heard about Prince and how we in the elevator we had him. Man, somebody shut that motherfucker up. We didn't say, we ain't, he got your, this nigga snitching on him. How the fuck do they know we was in the elevator in the first place? How we know, how they know we fucked up Prince in the elevator? Because you motherfuckers, that's where y'all found him at. Because y'all know niggas is detectives. If a fucking piece of paper wrapper was missing, somebody would have said, you know, it was a piece of paper, you had some candy. How many y'all detectives know the killers and the officers came in and went straight to the motherfucking candy dish? Because meaning they didn't been in that bitch before already. They know exactly where the food. I know this nigga went straight to the cabinet where he know the candy at. And somebody like, how would you know where Prince keep his fucking candy at if you ain't never been in here, officer? Jim, the jiggers up there got us. Shit, I got y'all two dumbasses. No, we gotta confess. They got us. You see the officers in it. Shut up. Don't say shit. Keep y'all mouths closed. Y'all see lately on the news and shit, you got officers that know the cameras is around and they doing shit like, shut your mouth. Everybody, shut up. Like the cops that went up inside the I don't know who house, but the two black dudes was in the house, and the cops was playing with them with a dildo. The two brothers, the two niggas, was playing with the niggas with the dildo. Y'all, damn it, we almost forgot that shit. You don't put it on the news, these niggas forget. Remember? Y'all see the moon moving though, right? Y'all seen it move since the last. It's almost in the trees. Look at that shit. So, yeah, the officer, the one bald head officer that looked like the nigga from the Pond show. That nigga was all in the courtroom with his lips buttoned up like, don't say shit. Everybody shut up. And then some shit with in New York happened in New York, and they had the fat, me so horny looking cop. Me so horny from 2 Live Crime. Me so horny. Me love you long time. Me so horny. Me so horny. They had a cop. He had his hat cocked to the side, and New York had NYPD, and he had his mouth buttoned up like, everybody shut up. And I think they was really talking to that Chinese cop that's in Detroit, that Sandra Dahl, Dollar. Samantha Dollar. I think they was trying to hint to the fat Chinese dude. The me some horny one from Detroit. Shut up. Y'all motherfuckers, whatever y'all talking about is getting all the way to New York. Shut up. Detroit, shut the fuck up. I've been told y'all. I said, man, police had something to do with that shit. And they like, how you know? Listen, I live downtown. That was the most peaceful area in Michigan. Why? Because you got to understand, it's about 1,000 police downtown all the fucking time. That's why she felt comfortable. Why you think she lived there? And I used to walk past where she stayed at sometimes. I used to take that route. I had a couple routes. I stayed in front of Shane Park at the Pasadena Apartments years ago before I got married. Over 15 years ago. You know how you motherfuckers is. They up there, we got another suspect. Bitch, that was 15 years ago. All that shit just looked real weird to me, y'all. Cause I live down there. And I got some pussy out of that apartment. That condo. Like, I think it's next door. I swear to God. It was this girl named Chris. She from Detroit, y'all, right? And she used to come downtown. She used to fuck with me and hang with me and shit. And she was house sitting one day. She was like when I first met her, I was living on the west side at the time. I wasn't staying downtown, I don't think. No, I wasn't. This is what made me move downtown. For real. This is the reason why I moved downtown. Chris was babysitting. I said babysitting, house sitting. It's like babysitting. You babysitting the house. And I like I told y'all, it's next door. I know it's in the area. I don't know where. But I may have seen Samantha because I said, that bitch is fine. Y'all don't understand. Samantha's body is bad. She got a body. Yes. She's strapped. Y'all hear me? She's strapped. I'm telling you, I seen her. Over 15 years ago. Like I said, she made me fucking move downtown. I was like, all these bad bitches down here. So, like I said, I got laid from Chris. Her name was Chris. I went over there, stayed the night with her. She didn't want to stay there by herself, and I got lucky, right? And I was already working at Wingate Management, which is next door to the right next door to the Western Brook Cadillac Hotel. And the Western Brook Cadillac wasn't renovated yet. They were still working on it, right? I think they were still working on it. Well, they wasn't at the time. Yeah, they was working on it. Let me see. Hold on. Something like that. You know, because they had like they had people to come in and clean it out. And they might have been cleaning it out then. They probably weren't doing the construction work yet. I don't know right now. But anyways, Washington Boulevard and Washington Boulevard and State Street, which is Gratiot. Once you cross Woodward, is Gratiot. If you on this side On the other side of Woodward, then you on State Street. But once you go across Woodward, then it's the street is called Gratiot. So I was basically in that area working, and I was working for ex-police officer who was running a security company from the company that I work for, Wingate Management, who own those properties. They own Griswold and own State Street. Am I right? I mean Washington Boulevard. I'm sorry, Washington Boulevard, next to the church. And the ones down the street, those senior living buildings, that's the company I work for. So the guy, Eric, that run his own security company, he had those contracts with those with Wingate Management, those properties. And he also had the Hilton, which is across the street from 36th District Court, which is behind what is that? What is that theater? It's not the Opera House. Whatever that theater is, 36th District right there. So I was working, I got a job from E, and I was doing security. So I was working two jobs. I worked for Wingate Management, and I was doing security. And I was debating about getting this place down there, because I was working downtown. I might as well get an apartment down there. And Chris invited me over there by where Samantha Wool, Woll, Wall. So I think I seen her, y'all, if I'm not mistaken. If it ain't her, it was another Jewish looking, fine ass, strap body female that lived, and I think it's her. I was like, I gotta move down here, and I was thinking, you know what I'm thinking, when I move down here, I'm getting some of that pussy. But you know, I was busy, and I never really see her no more, and you know, and I wasn't even really thinking about that. I had so many other bitches that I was shaboinking. Like I say, I was living off Jefferson. I moved to Pasadena Apartments, so I'm really in the area, but I'm not too close. But if I walk down Jefferson, turn on that First Street, you know, where they did made the little walkway with the bridge and shit by the fort, and I turn and I go down Lerner or the street, whatever that street is that she was on. Was that Lerner? Yeah, that is Lerner, right? No, it ain't. It's the next street. So she stayed 3 blocks away from me. So what I did was, I would walk down that way, and as soon as I walked down that way, I would see, you know, where I remember that I got lucky at over in them condos. That's why that shit really bothered me when Samantha got murdered over there, and the way they killed her with a knife and shit. That bothered me, because if it was her, she inspired me to move downtown, and it changed my life. I got married to this bitch here I'm married to now, but you know, I had some other business I had to take care of. But if I wasn't on my business and I just wanted to be out here enjoying life and the fruits and all of that, I would have still been working at the Western Book Cadillac and staying downtown. Oh, I didn't tell y'all. Since I was working next door to the Book Cadillac, the Book Cadillac people came into the Wingate management property downstairs. The GM and his secretary and the sales department, and eventually the other departments moved into other properties that we had downtown over there on Griswold, and they used those spaces to for their office of the other departments like housekeeping and the food and beverage departments. That was because we was renovating the Western Book Cadillac Hotel, so they was, their offices was downtown, until they finished all the demolition and not demolition, but the construction work that they was doing when they finished all of that. So they still had to have their offices, for people like myself who went to the Griswold location to apply and talk to the department manager for the job, Artist. That's why I met Artist and all that. But I was already staying at the Pasadena. The Pasadena apartments then. I was living at the Pasadena apartments. So, I was hanging out in Greektown every motherfucking day and every night. And I was just enjoying that bachelor life, living in a metropolitan urban community like Detroit, one of the 50th states in the Union, metropolitan areas in America, enjoying the fruits. But I just wanted to talk about the Samantha thing because I don't know if it was her or not. It could have been another white woman, Anglo-Saxon, European descent person. It could have been. But I think it was her, because if you go look at Samantha's, pictures on the internet, if you look at her pictures on the internet, you will see that that's a bad motherfucker. She got a strap body. I'm talking about amazing. She like a goddess. She like a goddess. So, by me going to law school, I investigate everything. I take everything and investigate that shit. So, part of my studies in college was we took a lot of psychology classes, and you learned about people who do certain crimes and the motives of these people and how they think. So one of the things that came through a flag up was the manner in which she was killed. She was killed with a knife. So usually they teach you in law enforcement and psychology and forensics perhaps as well, is that when people use knives, mostly it's a crime of passion. Usually when a person, especially in these modern times that we have so many guns, usually a person uses a knife when their heart is hurt, because it's more personal and they want them to feel the pain. And with a gun, it's more like lights out. But when you cut somebody and stab them, they more suffer. And with that, with people that's in those relationships and these crimes of passion, usually they want a person to hurt. because they hurt. They want them to feel the pain that they feel, so they usually cut, stab. And that's what they teach you in psychology. This is really not a law teaching that you receive in law school. It's more of a understanding of people who study the human brain. So those of you officers that don't recall ever being taught these type of understandings and studies, you don't be so upset, because you probably didn't take no psychology classes in college. So if you didn't take no psychology classes in college, then they're not going to teach you that. They're going to teach you protocol as a police officer. In law enforcement, you going by what you told. You a soldier. We're not paying you to think. We paying you to do what we tell you the fuck to do. More attitude. So with that being said, you gonna go do what you told to do, not what you think is right or wrong, because that's not what you get paid for. Because you can get charges pressed against your ass for not following orders as an officer. They can put your ass behind bars. That's what I'm saying. For not doing what the fuck they told you to do, you can go to jail. Because you sign a piece of paper and you pledge the oath to do what the fuck you told. You see how it's a difference? But when you study psychology, you have the ability to think and use your own brain to figure out problems, because you know why? Because you in a health profession, which means you're trying to figure out a way to help, to preserve life. It's not too much in the police officers' ethnic code of ethnics to save lives. Their more is to maintain order. So therefore, you gonna be given a fucking order. Bitch. So, when it comes to Samantha, somebody was given an order because their heart was hurt, because that bitch was fine. This is my own investigation, psychology that I'm presenting. This is not a protocol of understanding of the situation. This is mere using my own educated guess based on the classes that I've taken in college to come up with my own educated guess. And my educated guess tells me that somebody was jealous that was white, because she was around all those niggas that wanted to fuck her. And it hurt y'all so bad that somebody was given an order to kill her with a knife. You know why? You guessed it. because I just taught you that most crimes are passion is done with knives. But that's not the end. I got one more little key little piece of evidence you gotta understand. When people stab with knives, they usually cut their fingers. You know, like the little Chucky motherfucker that was the miso horny Chinese officer's partner, because those two motherfuckers was there. Those two motherfuckers was there. That's why the New York cop, I'm telling y'all, was like, shut the fuck up. Close y'all mouths. Don't say shit. Because that other Chinese motherfucker from New York can see the same thing that I seen on the little Chinese motherfucking cop from Detroit that was at Samantha House, the first officers that arrived over there, which is he about to snap and tell. He about to spill the beans. But it's too late. He already did. It's written all over his face when he was in trial. What's on his face? That he don't want to be a part of that shit no more. You know, conscious shit. Things that people do when they have a conscience, they start feeling bad about shit. You can see it in his face that he got a conscience. That's why they had the other cop, the Chinese other miso horny. They took a picture of him with his face, and his face got his lip buttoned like, shut the fuck up. And what I'm telling y'all, civilians, that's a code amongst the police to tell each other to close their mouths. You know, some shit that they learned from gangsters back in the day. Learn about keeping their mouths quiet. The police learn a lot from gangs. A lot. And sometimes they use that shit. But don't forget, police officers are human beings just like you and I. So they're capable of doing the same exact shit that any other fucking human do. Like, have a conscience, make mistakes, get mad, and definitely get caught. So the little chunky motherfucker, as you can see, the moon is hiding down behind the tree. It's moving, isn't it? Those of you been paying attention to the moon, like I have, as well. See, we multitasking. See, you capable of multitasking. You've been listening at me and watching the motherfucking moon rotate at the same motherfucking time. And that the thing is this, it's moving at 2,288 miles an hour. So that means what? That we are at a great distance from the moon, right? We gotta be far than a motherfucker if we can't see the moon moving, really can tell if it's moving, and it's moving at 2,228 miles an hour, and we can't really tell if the motherfucker moving. That means we a great distance from the moon. But to wrap this up, since the moon is out of our sight, the little Chucky motherfucking red-haired Chucky motherfucking officer that came came to the job to the crime scene first. His hands was cut up. Y'all gotta pay attention to his fingers when he was in court. But he was, that morning he was just looking so fucking suspicious. He was just doing a whole lot of suspicious shit. He was looking at the cameras and shit. And then, God don't make no mistakes. This motherfucker hair was red like Chucky. The motherfucker came to court in a Chucky outfit, blue Chucky. He ain't had no suit on. He had on a blue shirt with this motherfucker didn't even have enough sense to put some fucking ointment on his fingers to get his nails and his fingers to look like he wasn't inside, that he wasn't involved in a stabbing. His hands looked like he'd been stabbing somebody. And with the other hand, because when you stab, if you have to stab somebody, I ain't saying y'all did it, but if you had to, you would have to hold the motherfucker with the other hand so they wouldn't move. And that's what it looked like. It looked like he was holding and he was trying to make sure he stabbed. And it looked like, Samantha got all the way outside. So she got all the way outside. So that means she was fighting them little motherfuckers. Both of them short as shit. Now, if she was fighting some bigger guys, some more manlier men, she probably wouldn't have made it outside. But those two little motherfuckers, she manhandled those two bitches and made it outside. I'll talk to you motherfuckers later.